Hi, and welcome to the last episode of season one of Dating is a Joke. It has been a wild ride. I started this podcast not knowing where it was going to go, thinking I would do 5 episodes, then it was 8 episodes, and here I am at about 16 episodes. I've lost count. And today's special treat for you, Nik Duncan will be joining me virtually. But big announcement is that Dating is a Joke is now going to be going into a live format. So I will now be meeting my guests in person, just as you all requested. I do listen, and I know it's a long time coming, but we got such good reviews and so many great comments with my interview with Paul Marroquin that we did in person. And as I watched that back, I'm like, yeah, everybody's right. It is a very different vibe, and I'm all about the vibes. So stay tuned. It will mean that I will be taking a little bit of a break for a couple of weeks while we do some recordings, while I get something scheduled. If you are a comic and you'd like to be on an episode of Dating is a Joke, please find me on Instagram at Diana B Comedy or at Dating is a Joke. And let me know that you'd like to be on. And for those of you who are faithful watchers and listeners, hold on tight. We will be back. And don't forget that here we take dating so seriously that we laugh about it. Hi, and welcome to Dating is a Joke, where we take dating so seriously that we laugh about it. And today I've got a very special guest, Nik Duncan. Thank you so much for joining me. He is a comic and producer in the St. Catharines area, and this is the first time we're meeting. This is very exciting.
Yeah.
You're my first, I had one woman who I'd never met before. You are my first man who I haven't had any connection with, but we have been on the same couch over
Yeah.
at Dickie Lakeshore's
Dickie
place.
Lakeshore. Yes,
Yes.
that's right. Yeah. What up, Dickie? I call him Dickie Boy from RoboCop.
It's really good to
Yeah.
have you, though.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're just going to jump right into it.
That'll
And
do.
I'd love to get your perspective because, again, you're a guy. And do you think it's true that men don't like to date funny women?
None of the dudes I know date funny women.
Mm,
They've, guys are competitive. Maybe it's that. Maybe that, hey, don't be competing with me. Maybe it's that. I don't know. But I don't know any guy other than a comedian that's dated a
mhm.
comedian. But yeah,
Yeah.
funny. I don't know what it is, but I
I was gonna say, do
no.
you date funny women?
Uh, I like a sense of humor,
Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay.
but like funny, like she'd be like, trying to crack jokes and shit. That might be like, maybe you need to go home or something. But
Oh,
other than, like I like a sense of humor. You don't need to be a joke teller.
okay, so then for you, because we have discussed this a few times, and like one of the conclusions that I've come to is that when men say they like women with a sense of humor, is that they
Mhm.
like a woman who will laugh at their jokes.
Ah, no, it's more this. For example, if you're watching like Dumb and Dumber, I know like plenty of women who think that that's just stupid and immature.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
if you happen to be watching that with her
yeah.
and she's like, I don't get it, then it's kind of like that. It's like
Okay,
we want you to have a
okay,
sense of humor. Just let it
yeah,
go.
yeah. Okay,
Yeah, laugh at
easygoing.
farts, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
willing to laugh. Okay, I know, and
I
I
think
do
there it is. Laugh at farts. I think we want them to be a little
laugh at.
immature.
Is
Yeah,
that okay? The laugh at fart. So the 13
yeah.
year old playground humor. That's your thing, Nick. Okay, that's your thing. All right.
We like them to be playful. That's what it is. Just
Yeah,
be playful.
it's valid. Like that's valid. Like you know what? Quite honestly, like from my perspective, and a lot of the women we talk to, I think that men do lack a certain sense of playfulness,
Oh,
right? And I'm going beyond fart jokes, right? Like
right,
I
right,
think
right.
don't comedians do, which is
Okay.
hard for me because when I came into comedy, I thought, oh, maybe I could meet a nice comedian, and everybody warns me about dating comedians, right?
Hmm.
But I find like men who are not comedians do lack playfulness. Like they're very self-conscious about being like weird or like just
Yeah, I
being
see that.
silly. And I think silly can be very sexy, right? Like somebody like you said, you just let yourself go and be
Yeah,
living life and enjoying yourself. I think that's very attractive.
you're right. Not as you're saying this, I'm looking at life and I'm like, yeah, that makes complete sense because sometimes you got to be the peacock, right? And when you got to put on airs and add this and add that, you're so conscious of it that you don't want to slip. And so, that maybe you want to hold back a little bit of your personality because you think you're a little bit of a
Yeah.
nerd here. And I think that is a part of what comes into it. I think if one person lets go and be silly, I think the other person kind of feels like they have permission to do the same. I
Yeah.
think one person's got to be silly and just let go
I
and
get
give the
it.
other person permission to be free.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, and I like your peacock analogy because I think you need the
Yeah.
balance. You need part peacock and part silly goose, right? Like you just
Right.
need both, and knowing when
Yeah.
to
Put
do
one on the
each
wall and one on the table. Sorry.
one.
I'm just, I know some people are gonna hate that I said that, but I'm a comedian, man. That popped in my brain.
Yeah, no, I know. It's tough. It's tough when you're you're a comedian. Okay, I am going to throw you straight into the wheel of dating disasters and see
Okay.
where the conversation takes us. So, call that
Oh,
up.
that's good. Okay, let's do it.
What's a date that wasn't terrible, but you knew halfway through you would never be doing that again?
Oh man, as soon as you said that, immediately. Oh, you know what? I think I've done. You see someone you like and you try to do something about it. But I went on this date one time, but I'm not going to say cut it out. But as soon as she started talking, it was good. I started talking, it was good. But then I started telling her a story about how um, independent and free my children are, and
Hmm.
how they just glide through because they kind of know who they are. But then I
Hmm.
tell her how I raised them, and then just she started. I was like, yeah, I'm never seeing this one again, because she didn't have any discipline in her family, and her life kind of didn't have any upbringing
Yeah.
kind of thing. And we
Okay.
come from sort of like British tradition, discipline, root type of.
Oh,
So, yeah, and not British, just saying we come from discipline, we come from
yeah.
order, we come from focus, right? And she
Yeah.
come from like chaos. So I
Yeah.
just knew, yeah, I just knew that wasn't, I'm not doing this again. That's all.
Okay, but that's a really good point because
Yeah,
like I always talk to people about this, when you meet people on, for the first time, there's so much that makes up who they are, right? And I tell my
yeah,
kids all the time, I'm like, looks and that initial attraction are only the beginning. Like that only gets you to the door. There's
yeah,
so much more about a person, and those types of inherent values are so deeply important in
yeah.
relationships, right? Especially, I
Yeah.
mean, you said you how many kids do you have?
I have four. I raised three of them though.
Okay, so you've got four
Yeah.
kids. Got three,
Like
so
I'm
you've
single dad, so I roughed it.
right? But that's the thing. If you're going to bring somebody into your life, at
Yeah,
some point they're going to be in your kids' lives, no matter how old they are. Like my kids are pretty grown, and who
for
I
real.
date still impacts them, right? So you need that to be a good match. Now I'm just wondering, how did you handle that? Like, did you, sort of you figure this out? Did you finish the date and just kind of be like, my question is, did you ghost her or
Yeah.
were you honest?
No, I don't really. Okay, I was completely honest, and I'm a complete like I'm a gentleman, but I'm an hombre at the same time.
Mhm.
So I was a gentleman. I finished the date, had a pleasant conversation because whatever your objections are, you can put them aside because you're gonna be free from this in an hour or 2 hours, whatever. Just put them
Yeah,
aside and be a
yeah,
gentleman, right? So I just put
yeah.
all of the things that I didn't, when I knew, I was like, I'm done. But I continued, we followed through, and didn't last long. I think we were both just being polite. And then we rolled out, and I didn't contact her, and she didn't contact me because there was really no need to.
There was no mutual chemistry in that. Yeah, okay.
Right, right.
That's very grown up. I think that's a very grown up approach, right? 'Cause I think people, not everybody's going to be the love of your life. Like, not everybody you meet is going to be, but there is we're all human beings. We're all living this very difficult life together. So
Yeah.
let's just show each other mutual respect. We don't all have to be best friends, and we definitely don't all have to be lovers.
I, I got to say something about looks going so far. I really believe in looks as a value. I do, and I'm gonna justify it this way. If you've ever been struck, I mean, you meet someone and you're struck. However you want to define that, you yourself are open. And when you are open, you get to see them because you're not judging, you're not scrutinizing, you're open because you're struck. And looks can do that. When you see somebody, and you just like, yeah, I could rock that. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
when that happens, you're open. It's not even
Mhm.
about her or him being any different. You are a little different by being struck. And beauty can do that. I mean, we're not going to deny that good looking people get favor on this planet, in this world, and looks matter. I mean, they can cause like thunderstruck. We've seen it.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it lets you be open to receive that person, to see who they are.
Yeah. I do agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. And I would never say, oh, looks don't matter at all. But I do
Mhm.
believe that they're just that first step because I've been in
Agree to
situations
that.
with both where I meet somebody who is very attractive, right? Who, sort of ideally checks all the boxes. I get
Yeah,
that those very
yeah.
physical feelings. And then you sit across from them to have a conversation and you're like, and suddenly and in your eyes, they almost physically change, right?
Yeah.
And then I've had the opposite happen where I meet somebody who's, just normal, just average kind of looking, and then you meet them, and there's something about the way they carry themselves, the way they
Mhm.
think, the way they
Yeah,
laugh, the way they move, that increases that sense of
yeah.
attraction. But I mean, beautiful people are beautiful people.
But there's beauty in many ways. Like
Yeah,
if you're articulate and can hold an intelligible conversation, that's attracted to a lot of people.
yeah.
And that could cause struck to happen because some people are void of that and they look their whole life for that, and then they meet somebody who's like Nietzschean in their mind, kind of thing, if you will, and that's how they vibe. They roll with that, and you can be struck by that. You know.
Yeah. So here's a question I usually start with that I forgot to ask you. What is your current relationship status?
Oh, this is an interesting one. I like this place. I've been in this place once only. I had a breakup months ago. I haven't moved on with anybody else. I'm revisiting the situation, and we're trying to figure out, are we going to be together and go forward, or are we not going to be together? Because those values you talk about and the things we want for our lives, they matter. And when they come to bear, you got to face them. You got to deal with them. And I'm in
Mm-hmm.
that place right now where I got to deal with, this is what I want from my life. And she's got to deal with, this is what I want from my life. And it's tough to face. But
Yeah.
again, you got to be grown, man, and recognize that if something ain't for you, you got to let it go. And if something is for you, you
You
completely
got
got permission to fight for it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, man.
absolutely. And I think people don't do either quite enough, right? Yes, I think a
Yeah,
lot of people get stuck in a relationship too long that they know is not the right one, trying to fix it,
yeah,
trying to, like you said, sometimes there's nothing wrong with either one of you. You're just not on the same
yeah,
path, right? And to do what's best for you, those paths need to separate. And then there's
yeah, yeah,
people who are just so afraid of getting on the same path that they hold
yeah.
back and they
Comfort.
don't go for what they want. Yeah, so it kind of works in
Yeah.
those two directions. Now,
Well,
when you were a single man, Nick, how were you meeting people? Like, have you ever done the dating app
old
thing
school.
or
Old
old
school. I've
school?
never done a dating app in my life, and I'm not saying they're bad. That's not what I'm saying. That's just not my bag. That's not. I don't. That's not how I roll.
Oh,
I like
I
human
think they're
beings.
terrible. I'm all
Yeah,
there.
I got no judgments, girl. I got no judgments. I'm just saying, I meet people because I'm social, or I'm sociable. I'm not social. I'm sociable. I
So,
got the capability to be social, and I just roll out and meet people. Maybe I'm at the grocery store. This is always a popular one, the grocery store, and I
yeah,
could be over there, and maybe I see somebody that interests me physically, obviously, because
yeah.
we don't know each other, and I might say something. Now here's the thing. If a woman is with her kid, I'm not talking to her
Yeah.
because I think that's rude. That's just how I roll. You know what I mean? So I'd meet people where I go. I don't go to clubs. I don't do that kind of thing. I'd go to a bar to do some work, and some woman would come over to me and be like, "Hey, what are you working on?" Like women approach me also. So it's not just about what move I make. It's also where I am. And if I'm in
Yeah.
the company of humans, a woman might approach me. I mean, it's happened. So I just
Yeah.
meet people where people are.
It just comes easy to you, Nick, huh? I like
No, no, no. Okay, no,
I
yo,
have
you know what it is? I had sisters. I had
ah
sisters. I had a
yeah.
bunch of sisters.
Hey.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah.
And sisters spoil you. They just do.
Hmm.
And they just do. They take this charge of you. They're like, it's my brother. My sister pushed a guy down 21 flights of stair. That would be not flights, sorry, risers, 21
Yeah.
risers. That's steps. She pushed the guy down because he was arguing with me. She just walked by and pushed him down the stairs. Leave my brother alone. That's how they roll, right? So
Yeah.
I kind of was a little spoiled, just a little.
A little bit. Okay, but you got that good influence, right? Like you got that good vibe with the women. So you've got an inside look at a woman's brain too. Puts you a bit of an advantage.
Just a little bit, because you know it's vast and unfigure-outable. So I just the basics.
No. I get that. I get that. I always said I have this thing when on my sets because I actually dated a woman. I was married for like 25 years, but then to a man, and then I dated a woman for a year. And I said, I think that really puts me in a special place because I'm always like, guys, I understand dating women is difficult.
There you
Like
go.
I get
There you
it.
go.
Like there's
We
a
get
lot of
it.
conversation, a lot of conversation, and I'm a talker.
That's
And if
good.
I think there's too much conversation, it's a lot.
Well, I got a question for you. When
Hmm.
it comes to dating, some people are. Do you think that I'm a conversationalist, and I like an intelligible conversation. I like knowledge. I like brains. Brains are attractive to me. I know it's like weird to some people, but I like brains.
Yeah.
And do you think that it's okay if you meet someone, what they call a hottie, and then you guys start talking and she's like, huh? She really don't have no brains. Do you think it's okay to follow through with said hottie from Brains Man? Or if it was vice versa, Brains Woman, and there's just some base guy that's a hottie and she's like, do you think it's okay to follow through with that?
It's two-part answer. No, I
Mhm.
think that yeah, no, but the thing here's the thing.
Mhm.
No, but you got to be clear on intentions, right? Like that's the thing. You've got to be clear with intentions. And I
Why? Why got to be upfront with intentions? Why can't you just roll? But continue. I just want you to address that part.
okay, so here's what I think. So let's say that I meet a guy, right? And I think he's super hot,
All
but
right.
there's not much behind the ears. So I
Okay.
think this is a purely physical attraction.
Got it.
And he's looking for somebody long term. He's really wants to be devoted. For
Okay.
me, and for me, I'm like, you know what? I just think spending a night with him would be a really good time. It's fair.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that's fair. Now, if he's like,
What if you
yep,
told him though?
yeah, if I told, then I think that's okay.
That's the disclosure.
I think if two adult people get together to enjoy
Yeah.
themselves in whatever way they want, consensually, there's nothing wrong with that.
So you believe in like honesty and disclosure and just be transparent about all things from the get-go.
Yeah, ideally, yeah.
Ideally.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because this is the thing. Here's the
Circumstantially.
thing. So I got married to somebody I had dated in high school.
Okay.
I knew everything about him, right? And one of the scariest things for me with dating people is that they have this whole life, this whole history. And
Mm-hmm.
there's things that I don't know. There's things that I might never even know about them, the way that I
Right.
knew my ex. And one of the questions that I've played with lately is around how much are you entitled to know about somebody else? Right?
Interesting.
So if you've got
Yeah.
something in your past, right, that you've worked through and you've left behind, at what point, right, in a relationship
Yeah.
is it too could be too soon to reveal, or at what point is it too late to reveal where the other person might
Mm.
feel that they were lied to? Like I don't think everything's not so black and white,
So
and I
black and white. You got to navigate that in time.
yeah. So that's what I
Yeah.
meant by ideally. Like yes, I think you should be very open about your things. I think you should be very open about what you want out of a
Yeah.
relationship, even if it's that you're just trying to sort of figure it out, right?
Sense.
Now, I will tell you this though, is that when I'm on a dating app and if I see a guy who says figuring it out, I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it.
Okay.
Um,
I've,
but
I, I don't
what's
know what dating apps look like. I've never been on one. I mean, people. I hear comedians talking about plenty of fish and catfish, and but I've never been on. So I have no idea what those things are like at all. I hear that a lot of my homies, they find relationships matches that kind of rhyme with smashes. You
mm-hmm,
know?
yeah.
Yeah. So that's what they use dating apps for.
Mhm. I've gone through an interesting evolution. So like I said, I was married a really long time since I was really, really young. When I found myself single, I wasn't doing comedy yet. I didn't even know where to meet people. All my friends are married in long-term marriages. I had no single
Mm.
friend.
Like you were, right? And so this is a new chapter in your life.
And so I tried the dating apps, and I would say like the first 2 years, so that would have been like 4 years ago. I was on the apps and I was meeting people, and I mean, it gave me a lot of material for comedy. I have to say that's the upside. Uh, Whereas now, I just had this conversation the other day with somebody. I'm having a really hard time meeting people even on the apps because
Mm.
I don't want to say that I've become jaded. I think I'm just experienced and I'm just like, no, I haven't matched with somebody in like forever because I'm just like, I can't find somebody to.
Go down the road. Go down to your local like the woman that I'm working this thing out with.
Mhm.
I met her because I was hungry. I was like, and I thought I was gonna go try Thai Express. I hadn't been there
Okay.
before, and I
Yeah.
walk into Thai Express and I see her sitting
Mhm.
there,
Yeah.
and I like her as soon as I look at her because she's got a look that, the kind of look that's daydreaming in the back of your brain and shit. Yeah, she had that look,
Yeah.
and so I walk up and I'm going to the counter and I'm thinking, you want to talk to her though, right? Because yeah. So I look at her and I say, because now this is the truth because it was true. I was like, I don't really know this menu. What are you eating over there? That's how I started talking to her.
What's your
And she
first love?
smiled and told me what she was eating. And I went and I placed my order and thinking to myself, she could leave. But if she's still there by the time I get my food, I'm gonna talk to her again. And so she was still there. And I talked to her and she was smiling and going back and forth. And our conversation was just like this,
Mhm.
just rolling like the Mississippi. And
Yeah.
that's how I get. And then I gave her my number. I didn't take her number. Mostly guys ask for a girl's number.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
gave her my number because I wanted her to make the choice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I gave her my number, and she may or may not have called, may or may not have
Mhm.
texted. I drove away, and I regretted it. So I drove back, and I'm like, no, man, I hope she's still there. Okay, forget this. I'm not leaving this to chance. So I
No
drove
way.
back, and she was gone. And
Oh,
about a half an hour later,
really?
yeah,
Well, that's a great story. And how
and then
long
we
have
get
you guys kind of been together? How long ago was that?
4 years ago.
3 years ago? Okay.
Yeah, 4 years ago. Yeah, actually, yeah, I think it was 4 years ago. I suck at these things.
Yeah.
That's probably a complaint that women have. Like, guys never remember these dates. I don't know.
It's
I don't know.
a
I
lot
know
of
the
things.
special ones, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah, like every day, that's a special
Every
one, right? Every day.
day.
Mm, mm, mm,
Do you
will be right. Yeah, man. Sorry, what was that?
do you do you consider yourself like a romantic?
I know Shakespeare and shit, so I mean, I never quoted. I like those pretentious fools in the movies. Dying in a vow. I don't do that shit.
I was gonna
But
say, do you break out into like a sonnet or something?
no, but I consider myself capable of romance for sure. But am I going to just roll it out on the regular? That's not how I roll. I don't think any man rolls like that. And that kind of expectation is wild and outlandish. Like if a woman came in and be like, I expect you to be romantic all the time. I'm like, bye, bye. Your name ain't
Yeah.
even
Oh,
Felicia. That's how it'll
no.
be because romance is one of those things that you just step to. It's got to be a fluid thing like
Mhm.
everything else. It doesn't have to be Valentine's Day. It doesn't have to be her birthday. It's
Yeah.
just Saturday and she's looking good in her yoga pants. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And then
So
you do something and say, hey, baby, let's go to the drive-in. I'm like, oh my God. Right? That's all. That's it.
and are you like how do you show that affection? Like are you like a complimentary? Do you get gifts? Do you go out of your way to do something special for them? All of the above.
Entry and touching too, right? Because
Yes.
like yeah, when if I'm with a woman and I know she likes to be caressed or she's a snuggling and all that shit, like I'm cool with all of that because I was
Yeah.
raised by women. You get
Hmm.
smothered. So any man who's always around, he understands cuddling it's cool. You can go to the bush, shoot your gun, and come home and cuddle your woman. They're both fine. You know what I mean? And so I show it that way as well. But I like to say things too,
Hmm.
right? Because I'm a words guy. Public relations is where I come from. So, I want to say effective and romantic things too, you know. I'm not gonna give you no examples and shit, but it just comes off the fly. You see her, and she's looking, you tell her she looks beautiful. You guys are going to baby, she looks beautiful every day. But at this moment, she spent time to
Yeah.
look good. So you can go out and watch flamenco. So you tell her
Yeah.
that she looks good. Not that you don't look good on Thursday, girl, but I know
Mhm.
you put the time in today. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's interesting because we're going back to kind of what we talked about before when you said, as a guy, you can go and shoot your gun and then come back and be, cuddly. And
Yeah.
it was kind of like the whole peacock silly goose, right? Like I feel like we're all like not even three-dimensional, multi-dimensional. And I
Multi.
think
Yeah.
a lot of times we forget that about each other, right?
Yeah.
And everybody wants to be seen as a very particular thing, and this is what I am, or this is what I want
Image.
people to see me at, right? And I feel like people are just so much more interesting. One of the things is I'm loving doing this show because it gives me an opportunity to like sit and like just talk and ask questions and explore things a little deeper. I
Yeah.
find when you just run into people, like let's say, tonight, like I'll be at the spotlight, I'll run into some people, and the conversation will stay very, very surface, right? Like, and you don't really
Right.
get
Yeah.
to like know people as well. And I find
1,000%.
that when you do start getting in, it gets so much more interesting. And I love that. Like I love everybody's stories. I love the viewpoint. Like, yeah, I absolutely love it.
That's a lot of time. That's a lot of time for everybody's stories.
Yeah, well, but
To
you
some
can't do
people,
that with everybody, right? You
Yeah, it's
can't.
true.
But
It's true.
but it's nice when you kind of get to that deeper level. But I'm gonna circle back to the original
Yeah.
question that got us here, which was the question you asked me. So I want to hear your perspective around how you feel about, you said you're a brains guy, so you meet a woman who is not, you know, a brain girl, right? Are you going to continue to pursue that?
Well, I'm a guy, of course. What do you mean? What kind of question is that, Diana?
And are
No,
you?
but no, listen, that's half the answer, and that's true.
Mhm,
You can't let us not deny that natural urge, and let us not. I mean, a hottie's a hottie. That's what come on now. We don't have to talk about it. We know. Part of me is going to be like, hit it, and then
mhm.
another part of me, all depending on the moment, all depending on what's happening. Like, for example, women have hit on me when I've been with my children. My children, they be like, oh God, this again. Like, I don't mess with that. Never did. I walk away. I'm always polite, respectful. I'm like, I appreciate it, da 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 da, and I roll. Because I didn't want my children to see me rolling with a bunch of different women as they were growing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So we just
absolutely.
we just
But
deal with it as it comes.
hmm
There
yeah,
was a woman across the fence, beautiful. Here's an example. Like, do I hit it or not? She came from across the fence because she would watch me play with my kids. And most of the parents in the neighborhood, actually none of them, didn't play with their kids. I was the only one on the street playing
Yeah.
with my kids. And she would
Mhm.
see this month, day after week, month after month. And she finally worked up the the chutzpah to come
Yeah.
over, knock at my door, and ask me out. I thought that was the
Wow.
bravest thing ever. And
Yeah.
I couldn't. I couldn't. And I told her why I couldn't. I was in a relationship a year before that. It took me a little while to get past that relationship. And I told her, if I said yes to you, then I wouldn't be able to give you the fullness of myself because I'm still in love with another woman. And I don't think that it's right that I go out with you, but I appreciate it. And if I was free, I absolutely would. And I didn't want to walk away with a twist in her brain, right? So I wanted to say something that was honorable because she took, like, it must have cost her something to come over. So I
Yeah.
didn't want to send her back flat. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
that's how I
that's
roll.
very kind. No, that's very kind. And yeah, that's amazing. I have never ever in my life since high school, never, I'm not gonna say never in my life, never since after the age of 17 approached a man ever. And it's
Never?
just never, not even like even on like I
Why,
used
you
to be
scared?
on a
You scared?
yeah, terribly. Terribly. I'll lie to you. Absolutely. Logically, like in my brain, I know that it's silly. Like logically, I know.
Yeah,
And I'm like, I'm pretty well, like I do shit. Like I put myself out there all the time, but not
yeah.
in that sphere. That's the
Okay.
one sphere that I am just will not touch. And I should. I
That's
know I should.
fair.
I
That's
will
fair.
one day.
Because you're right. You do put yourself out there. You know, you're in comedy, doing this podcast. You do. So it's fair to not put yourself out there with everything. You're allowed to not
Oh.
participate in that. But that said, though, scaredy cat, I just want to say, give it a shot. Just do it. What's the worst one bird can say? All he can say is, no. That's the
Yeah,
worst.
I
It's the
know.
worst.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like there
You
isn't.
know?
I mean, and I know that I'll be fine. I know. I just, yeah, no.
That's the thing. None of us like rejection. That's the thing.
Um,
I
yeah,
know, and it
it's
sucks.
tough.
Like when you roll upon somebody and then they just like, it's just, I know it doesn't feel good.
No, I know. And I'm like, I just got over the bombing on stage. Like now when a joke doesn't
Oh,
land or whatever, I'm okay
mm,
with it now. It took me a little while.
mm.
I'm okay with it now, but I still will
It
not
sucked
feel
though,
like
didn't it? Like a letdown. Like it was like, no, I got a girl. It was like that when you bob,
like,
wasn't
look
it?
at that, right? Yeah, that's hilarious. What do you mean you didn't like it?
It's fair. It's fair. You know,
Yeah.
just have fun with it and hope that your friends laugh at you, because you can laugh
Oh,
at
they
them back.
will. Oh, they
Yeah,
will. My friends, like I
that's
said,
it.
all my friends have been married a very long time, so they're all living vicariously through me, right?
Very cool.
I'm the sideshow.
It's like, yeah, what are you up to now?
Yeah, exactly. And unfortunately, it has gotten boring. The first like couple of years was more exciting when I was on the apps and I was dating a lot. That they were having a hoot. I wasn't. Now it's like, Dana, what do you mean? And I'm like, I just can't. Plus, comedy's keeping me really busy. I find
Yeah,
comedy very
that's that.
fulfilling, very
Yeah,
fulfilling. So I'm like, I'm all right.
that's your homie for now.
We have run out of time, Nick, and I'm gonna
Hey,
invite you
wait,
back.
before
I
we go,
think
you
I
got to
have a
tell
lot to
me.
talk about.
No, you got to tell me your number one turn off. You got to tell me.
My number one
Yep,
turn off.
yep.
Oh, my number one turn off is rudeness. Like
Oh, like
if
Hannibal Lecter. He eats rude people. I got you.
oh yeah. Oh yeah, like the whole like I've been on dates where like a guy gets really pissy because he didn't get his lime in his drink or something with the waiter
Prima
or
donna.
or we go through a door and he doesn't hold it open for me. I'm just like my kids hold my door open for me. You know
I
what I mean?
got
Like
you.
that's
I
just
got you.
basic. Yeah, no, that's like I'm
All
done.
right.
I'm like the one time it happens, I'm done.
I don't want to
Yeah.
make you late, all right? Because I asked you an interesting question. I'm just saying.
Well, what's yours?
In all honesty,
Hmm.
I, dumbness.
Mm,
Like I'm really turned off by a woman who lacks the ability to have an intelligible conversation. I
mhm.
don't care how fine you are. Like mostly, it's a
Yeah,
turn off. You know what I mean? Roll with it is a secondary. To be truthful, like dumbness, I can't handle a woman who can't have an intelligible conversation. It's just not my bag.
yeah. Okay, yeah, no, I can definitely respect that. I think I can handle well, it wouldn't turn into a relationship, but I could go home and be like, "Oh, he was nice," but that's not going to go anywhere. But
There you
if
go.
he's rude, it's like, no, like that was the
That's it done.
worst. Yeah, or like that was the worst. There was nothing good's going to come out of that. Okay, Nick,
Oh, oh yeah. Go ahead.
do you have a question?
Not at all. If this was a concert, I had the total awesome callback from the opening, but someone
Oh,
is gonna be offended if they heard it, but I can't do it. But it was
oh
dope.
no.
So
Okay. Well, do you have any shows coming up that you'd like to plug? Where can people find you?
yeah. But I run a bi-monthly regular show at Cold Break Brewing in Western Hills, St. Catharines. And my next show is April 11th. I'm calling it April Loser because it's my 1 year celebration of doing independent pro comedy.
Nice. Okay. Congrats. And that you said that's April 11th. Maybe I'll make my way back down to St. Catharines for
Word.
that.
Go to my website or my Instagram if anybody wants more information. It's Nik, spelled the Russian way, no C. Nik
Oh,
Duncan.
yeah. Okay. Perfect. I will make sure that everybody gets that. Nick, it was a pleasure to finally like have a conversation and talk. I hope to
I
actually
appreciate
meet
it.
you in person really soon.
Are you
And
going Saturday? Because I'll be there.
what's Saturday?
Joke for
Saturday.
choke.
Oh, B. Well, you know, I'm actually. It turns out I usually have my daughter Saturday
Okay.
every other Saturday, and this was one of
Yeah,
those.
yeah,
But
yeah.
she's not going to be here, so maybe I'm
You
looking for
might be
something
there.
to
All
do.
right. So if I
So
don't
yeah,
meet you
I'll
there, I'll see you soon
definitely.
enough. This is comedy.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Nick, and thank you everybody for watching. Please go follow Nick, find out what else he's up to, and find us again on Dating is a Joke.